Hey everyone, I'm back with another House of the Dragon video. And today I'm looking at some of my most anticipated scenes for season 2. All of this is based primarily on where we left off in the final episode of season 1. Right at the top, it's how the Greens are going to react to Aemon killing Lucerys and starting the war that they attempted to avoid by offering terms to Rhaenyra at Dragonstone. I'm most interested in how Alicent and Otto received the news. In the book, there are some different reactions among the Greens. But when it comes to House of the Dragon, we always need to keep in mind that the book is based on secondhand accounts, primarily the Maesters. So there's room in many places for the showrunners to proclaim what is actually canon. And those of us who have read Fire and Blood have had some nice surprises so far. You can assume, too, that Otto and Alicent see Aemond as the smartest and most capable of the children she had with Viserys. Otto was thrilled when young Aemon claimed Vagar, and the perspective Aemon had to declare that losing an eye was worth claiming such a dragon. Alicent also tasked Aemon with finding Aegon for the coronation, and you know she also recognizes what a deviant Aegon is. They're going to have to be shocked and disappointed by what happened over Storm's End. And while we're on the topic of Aemon killing Lucerys, it'll also be fascinating to see how he handles all of this. In the book, we were led to believe that he killed Lucerys on purpose, but the show took another route, that while Aemon was still responsible for what happened, that he couldn't get Vagar to obey him after Arax hit her with fire. So will Aemon show some remorse when he comes back to King's Landing? Or will he put up a good front and swagger around and act as if Lucerys got what he had coming to him? We've seen at a couple of points how Aemon admires Daemon's confidence, boldness, and toughness. There was a gleam in his eye after Daemon relieved Vaemon Velaryon of his head, so maybe he's going to want to emulate his uncle in some way. I also believe we could see two sides to Aemon. With most people, he could act unrepenting, but perhaps with Alicent or his sister Helena, he'll show the other side, the one that has a bit of remorse. If this happens, I think it'll be Helena who he's most likely to confide in. There's been much speculation about their relationship together, and while Helena appears revolted by most members of her immediate family, she is often shown near Aemon, like she was at the coronation. It would be a good way to have the audience further connect with her, too. So far, we've primarily seen her blurting out prophecies, showing disgust toward Aegon, or pulling away from her mother. While we saw Rhaenyra's reaction to the news of her son's death in the final moments of the last episode, I look forward to seeing how they respond initially to what's happened. Daemon, in particular, was readying for war after learning that the Greens had usurped his wife and crowned Aegon. He's going to be blistering for revenge, and we all know that Daemon isn't someone who settles for half measures. Then we have the newest dragon added to Team Black's roster, Vermithor. He had a dramatic entrance in the finale. It was a great scene with Daemon singing a High Valyrian song to him. I previously broke down the meaning of the song. I'll link it in the description section below. But what I'm looking forward to in season 2 is seeing a writer claim Vermithor and then also having him fly into action as the war unfolds. Then there's Jace. He went on the most important mission to Winterfell to gain the support of the Starks. Rickon Stark was among the group in the throne room during episode 1 that pledged their support to Rhaenyra. He's since passed away, and now his son Cregan has taken over. There's a lot to unpack here, and I plan to do a separate video on the Starks because they have a larger role moving forward. But Jace's visit is going to be intriguing because we'll also see how they work in the prophecy and what the Starks during this time period know about the threat from the White Walkers. Then, of course, there's serial killer Kristen Cole. The wait will be on for when he strikes again. The creators of the show have also confirmed that Daeron Targaryen will be introduced in season 2. He's the youngest son of Viserys and Alicent, but we didn't even get a brief glimpse of him during the first season. Part of the reason was that he didn't play an important role in the early events, and we had a couple of time skips. Also, at the time of Viserys' death, Daeron was squiring for Ormond Hightower in Old Town. For those wondering what relation Ormond is to Viserys' evil Hand of the King, well, he's Otto's nephew. Finally, one other smaller thing I'm interested in is what they do with Helena. I touched on this a bit when I was talking about Aemon's feelings about killing Lucerys, but I also want to see what else they do with Helena and her prophecies. Early on, she said regarding Aemon claiming a dragon that in order to do so, he'll have to close an eye. She was talking about the beast beneath the boards late in season 1, and then we had Meleys crash the coronation party. It's possible that that's what her prophecy was all about. Others feel it might relate to another event in Fire and Blood, but I won't spoil that here. Either way, it's going to be interesting to see what else she might come up with. Well, it's going to be a long wait until season 2. Best case scenario is we get it in spring of 2024, but the post production for the show and all the CGI could push it into the summer. I have a long list of videos I want to do, though, and I've only really begun to scratch the surface of them. And even when I do them, it gives me new ideas for future ones. Like this one gave me the idea of doing one on Daeron Targaryen at some point. Okay, that's it for this one. Hit the like button if you enjoyed it. And if you're interested in more House of the Dragon content, listen to Caraxes and subscribe. I want to thank everyone for watching, and I'll see you soon.